Hello, Colas, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Eric Garcia, as Eric Garcia is keen to stay at the club despite exit links. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, in this episode, talking about PSG superstar Neymar, as it has been reported that Xavi have insisted that Neymar is not part of his plans and he did not see him as a priority. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Eric Garcia is one of many Barcelona players facing an uncertain future at the club, as the Blaugrana look to trim the squad and reduce the salary mass. There could be multiple players bidding farewell this summer. Unsurprisingly, Garcia is among those players, having failed to live up to expectations since rejoining the club from Manchester City in 2021. He has struggled to establish himself as a first-team regular, falling behind Andres Christensen, Ronald Araujo, and Jules Koundé in the pecking order. This has led to speculations over his future, with Barcelona reportedly ready to offload the defender ahead of the new season. Reports say they are ready to accept a loan deal for Garcia, though they are ideally looking to sell the player for a fee of around 10 million euros. However, according to Marca, Garcia is not bothered about such speculations. He does not have any intention to leave Barcelona this summer and wants to fight for his place in the first team next season. The report also points out how Barcelona are yet to convey their desire to sell Garcia, while coach Xavi Hernandez has always admired the defender for his professional behavior and versatility, especially with the player being able to operate as a makeshift defensive midfielder. It could prove to be handy as Barcelona look to deal with the departure of Sergio Busquets this summer. Xavi held Garcia publicly multiple times this past season, and the player himself remains keen on proving himself at the club. However, this does not guarantee Garcia's stay, however, considering the fact that Barcelona are desperately looking into offloading him, some of the first team stars as well. The club may have no option but to offload the former Man City starlet, especially if they fail to find a proper suitor for Ferran Torres and Frank Kessié this summer. Of course, Eric Garcia have been linked to an exit, unsurprisingly, because we know that this past season, Eric Garcia have not played up to the expectations and he have not been that useful. He have not been that useful in the team. And what is the need? Why is the need for keeping Eric Garcia when we already have quality defenders who are more reliable? And of course, another addition coming in the form of Inigo Martinez from Athletic Club, who will be coming as a free agent. So what's the need for keeping all these defenders when we know definitely that we need to sell some players in order to have space in the wage bill to register players, which will help us a lot. And I think Eric Garcia, despite him not wanting to go, he have no choice. Barca have to sell him. I think they will sell him. They will sell him. Of course, all the players that have been linked with an exit always say they don't want to go. Then they believe that they will stay at the club. Then I ask myself, then who wants to go? Who wants to go? Because we know that selling them, their departures will help. It will greatly help the club finances. But the truth is, everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to stay, no matter what. Eric Garcia have been very awful last season. Even when Xavi even gave him the makeshift play as a makeshift defensive midfielder, Garcia have failed to impress. So I don't think there's nothing like versatility. Whatever Xavi says about versatility for me is a big lie. There's nothing versatile about Eric Garcia. So no need for all the praise because this guy is not the level of Barcelona. The fact that he have played for City does not mean he should play for Barca. And that is why some of them fail to understand. So honestly, Eric Garcia's future should be more out than in. There have been links to clubs like Inter Milan from the Serie A who are showing interest, and Barcelona, from what we are saying or from what we are reading, they are saying that 10 million euros is the price that Barca want to sell. But it depends. It all depends. They say Barca are also open to a loan move. They are open to a possible loan move. Because the fact is they want to remove Eric Garcia from the squad at all costs. That is why they've given that price, and if possible a loan move. So Barcelona, one thing that they need to do is finding suitors for some of these players who will likely be sold. Normally it won't be easy because most of these players have been awful, and many clubs will not see a reason for buying them for such a high amount. So players like Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, Franquisi are some of the other players that have been linked with an exit, as well as those players on loan like Umtiti, Lenglet, Sergio Dest, and so on and so forth. Those are players that Barca are desperately needing to sell in order to balance the books. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona were ultimately met with disappointment in their pursuit for Messi this summer, as Messi opted to join Inter Miami instead of Barcelona. Barca, though, were recently handed the opportunity to secure the return of another of their superstar, Neymar Jr. Recent reports have now suggested that Neymar is determined to do a comeback to his old stomping ground and is even willing to lower his salary. However, according to Javi Miguel, Barca have no intention to bring back Neymar. It appears the player is not even included in Xavi's plans for next season, even though he was once teammate with the current Barca head coach. The manager has already confirmed as much in interview earlier this month that in theory, Neymar is not our priority. He's not in our sport planning. I appreciate him a lot as a person, but he's not a priority. Xavi and Neymar played together for 2 years, from 2013 to 2015, before Xavi eventually joined our side. But the Barca coach is not too keen on bringing Neymar back to the Camp Nou, and that could be true due to multiple factors. For one, Neymar is 31 years old. He has left the best years of his career behind. Even though his performances at PSG have still been relatively impressive, the forward has struggled too much with injuries to be considered a viable option for Barca. The PSG superstar also commands a hefty salary, which could be a burden on Barca even if it gets lowered. Not to mention the forwards probably would not fit into the side tactically, given that Xavi is looking for more of a long-term alternative for Lewandowski. To that end, Barca have made some grounds in the bid to sign Vitor Roque. They are expected to hold talks with Atletico Paranaense to clear the final details and to seal the deal. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.